Oh my god, this is going to be amazing. And record. And the Emmy goes to...
What's going on, everybody? It is Vegeta Almighty here. Jen is currently predisposed at the moment, so I'm going to be doing this video by myself. But you guys know how much I love Megaman and how excited I am for this Legacy Collection. And we are watching the Capcom showcase and wanted to see what they're going to show off about the Legacy Collection. And I got to the point live where they were about to start talking about it. And then I paused so I could record my reactions to this. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to see what's going on with the Legacy Collection, what new news they got for us. So here we go. I'm so excited. Please be on. Please have online play. Please have online multiplayer.
今でも僕らはつながっている。今なお多くのファンに愛されているロックマンエグゼシリーズ。そのナンバリング10作品が任天堂スイッチ、プレイステーション4、スチームによみがえる。ロックマンエグゼアドバンスドコレクション2023年発売。アドバンスドコレクションでの追加機能としてソフトな描画に切り替え可能な高画質化フィルターの搭載やギャラリーモードには合計1000点以上のイラストと188曲のゲーム内 BGM を楽しめるミュージックプレイヤーを収録。さらに
Hey there, I'm Megaman. I'll be your Navi while you play. Let's do this thing.
He does not sound like he used to.
ペット画面を再現したタイトル選択画面では 3D のロックマンがボイス付きでナビゲートを担当。プレイ状況や操作に応じて様々なリアクションが返ってきます。そして本作のディレクターを務めるあの江口名人よりコメントが届いております。
バトルオペレーションセットイン。皆さんお久しぶりです。名人です。 TGS の舞台にロックマンエグゼが帰ってきました。ロックマンエグゼアドバンスドコレクションエグゼ6から数えて約17年。こうして再び皆さんにエグゼ情報を発信できることをとても嬉しく思います。さてアドバンスドコレクション発表からしばらく経ちますが SNS や動画サイトでの盛り上がりを見て開発スタッフ一同とってもモチベーションが上がっています。ところで皆さんめっちゃ気になっていることありますよね。そう通信機能について
Let's go! Yeah! Woo! Let's go, baby!
オンラインで
Yes! Come to Papa!
の通信対戦やチップトレードなどの通信機能を現在制作中です。今作でも皆さんをつなげていきますよ。
Let's go!
白衣の話なんかもしたいのですが今回お伝えできるのはここ。その他詳細は今後発表される続報をお待ちください。それではでした。
江口名人ありがとうございました。本作初代ロックマンエグゼから
Let's go, baby!
6までのバージョンを含めた10作品を収録したお得なアドバンストコレクションに加えて
And ship trading is going to be a
2つに分
thing.
けたボリューム1とボリューム2もそれぞれ配信予定です。商品の詳細や今後の続報については公式サイトやロックマンシリーズ公式ツイッターよりご確認ください。
Let's go! That is what we want to see. And that's it! That's all the love you get as a Mega Man
それで
fan.
は本日ご紹介する最後のタイ
I
ト
don't care about Street Fighter all that much. That's all we get. That's all we get. You know what? I'm happy though. You know what? I'm happy because the online is going to be working. It's not working currently yet because they're working on it, but the game's not out yet, so that's fine. Wow, I'm excited for the collection, but man, it's bare bones. It is super bare bones. Maybe they'll have more to show off in the future. Like, it's still got a while before it releases. So maybe they'll have more to show us in the future. But as it stands right now, if that's all we're getting, that's kind of ugly. But you know what? I'm okay with it as long as the online works. I mean, granted, it's something that we could do, like, through the use of, like, fan servers and emulations. This is all stuff that we can already technically do. But still, to be able to do it in an official release, again, it's just fantastic, because there's no real, like, entry point on that, or like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you don't have to have a certain skill level to jump into an online battle. You just press a button and then there you go. Like, you don't have to know how to set up anything like you would through unofficial means. But man, that's still really bare bones, though, as far as that. Like, if that main menu is all we get an animated Mega Man. And he's rusty, man. He needs to. I hope that's not the finalized voice. He sounds horrible. Like, he's not horrible, but like, he needs to go back and of course, it's not easy to go back and watch some of his old works and listen to how he used to do the voice, because it's so damn hard to find a good, like, copy of any of the old anime. But he needs to go back and practice that voice a bit more, because it's something, I don't know what it was, but it sounded off. Like it was too deep, you know? I mean, that could just be me. That could just be a nitpick on my end. But wow, it was a really bare bones HUD. Just from what we've seen. Or not HUD, main menu. But, yeah, that's, not super duper great. I'm hoping we get more in the future. Like, there's got to be some sort of new modes. And I wonder, another question that's on my mind, that I'm sure is on a lot of fans' minds, is any of the excuse me. Is any of the crossover content still in? Did we lose any of it? Like, did they take out the Django chips from Battle Network 4? Or the Django side quests and stuff from Battle Network 4? Did they return the graveyard areas to their proper glory from Battle Network 6? What all has been cut? Because that would suck if... What all has been cut and what all has been added, if any? Or is it just the ROMs, basically? The original ROMs. Because if it's just the, like, original games, you know, which I imagine it is. No, actually, if they're doing it online, it can't be the original files. Like they would have to do some sort of. Well, I don't know. I don't claim to know how that stuff works. But I would imagine that they're not just the ROM files put on a collection, because, I mean, if they're integrating online features, then they would have to, like, almost hack the ROMs into, I don't know. All I know is that I don't think it's just the ROMs, because it just doesn't make sense that it would just be the ROMs. But again, I'm no expert on this, so in the comments below, if you know anything more, if you know about this kind of stuff, please feel free to educate an idiot like myself. But yeah, I can't imagine that it's just the ROMs. So I'm imagining, I'm not holding my breath on the Black Tie crossover stuff to still be in Battle Network 4 or 6 even. But it would be nice if that stuff was still in, and that we got the cut content that we didn't get in America, like the Otenko chip trader and the Immortal area and extended graveyard and all that good stuff. Because it's not a whole lot to it, but it's just nice to be able to have that extra content in the game. And it'd be nice to have an official release of it for those who don't really do emulation and haven't been able to do the fan translation of the Japanese version of Battle Network 6. Which, if it's not in there, bummer. I recommend you do check it out, the fan translation for Battle Network 6, the Japanese version, because there is some cut content from Battle Network 6 that we didn't get in the American release. But other than that, the only other things I could really say that I would want is, like, I want to play the, I would really want to play the, I want an official English support of 4.5, though, again, that one's a bit more unrealistic. That would have to be for one, it would have to be an internet only. Like, it would have to constantly be connected because of the real-time clock that game used. And also, I just don't see that it's something that somebody would necessarily want to put the effort into, because it's not something that everyone would really like to play, I'm sure. Just like Battleship Challenge and Network Transmission, both spin-off games that one is I don't even know how to explain Battleship Challenge. But the other one is a platformer, and not many people really like that game. And, I just don't see those realistically ever coming to Switch. 4.5 is something that could maybe come to Switch, just because of today's day and age. It would probably be more well received in today's day and age with everything being connected all the time. But even still, I'm not holding my breath on a North American release of that game. Capcom doesn't really give a damn about Mega Man, in all honesty. The fact that they're releasing this is a miracle in and of itself. So they don't really care about Mega Man, and especially the North American Mega Man fans. Another thing that I would like to see is Legacy of the Network and Phantom of the Network. Was it Phantom of the Network and Legacy of the Network? It was Phantom of the Network and something else. There were like Japanese exclusive mobile phone games that were basically Battle Network games, but kind of like dumbed down a bit. Not necessarily dumbed down, but like made to fit on Japanese smartphones at the time that it came out. I would love to be able to get a copy of those and play those, because any new Mega Man Battle Network content would be fantastic. Heck, they could remake those games and like make them in the style of the GBA games. They could even make them more. They could give them more animations. They could make them as a Switch game, and give them more of this kind of current gen flair. Give better animations, or just make the pixel quality a little bit crisper, and just make the game look better. Don't even have to add anything to it really, but just give us a remade version with better sprites and assets of those two games. But again, I will not hold my breath on that. The day we get those games ported over, even if they just port them over, like I said, don't even remake them, just port them over to Switch with an English translation. The day that happens is the day that I'll expect Mega Man Legends 3 to be the next game that gets announced. Spoiler alert, they're never releasing that game. As much as I really need that game, before I die, to cross over into the afterlife and not become a ghost, or stuck in purgatory, I'm not seeing any other option for me, because they are never going to release that game. I'm just 100% sure they're never going to release that game. Capcom, please feel free to prove me wrong, but they're never releasing that damn game. Just like I don't think they're ever going to release these two other games, or any of the Japanese only, like Operate Shooting Star even. I don't think that's going to get when we get the inevitable Star Force collection, I'm not holding my breath on even getting a damn Operate Shooting Star added in, because it's first of all, it's a Battle Network game at the end of the day, with some Star Force content thrown in. But as far as But as far as that getting added to, first of all, I know it's not coming to the Legacy collection, which they could surprise us all and have the wouldn't that be something? The Battle Network one that we get is Operate Shooting Star. Again, I highly doubt that, but that would be some slick little way to add a reason to buy the game even more. But it's not happening. I don't see why not. They've already clearly got one of the voice actors on board. All they need to do is get Lan's voice actor now, and they could easily just translate it, and then the voice lines that are in the game are just Lan and Megaman, and you can just have them come in and reprise their roles for a bit and add voice lines to it. But again, I think I don't know if it's just the original ROMs or not. So that would take more work and effort for Capcom, more work and effort than they really care about. Yeah, I think that we're just getting the 10 mainline games. I'm not holding my breath on any extra modes, any extra content. And honestly, I'm really not holding my breath on the Boktai crossover stuff. I want it. I kind of expect at least what was already in the games in the North American release to still be there. I'm going to be a little ticked off if they cut the content that was in there. Like Battle Network 4 had a little had the 3 Gundel Soul chips, and of course the Gun Soul EX and the little Shademan mini event in the post game. So maybe that's still in there. If it's not, that's going to be kind of stupid for them to have removed that. Because, I mean, it just fits in that game with the whole Shademan situation. Like, it just kind of fits. And if they remove that, it's kind of stupid and a bummer. It'd be cool if they bring it back for... bring back the cut content for 6. But, yeah, no, I'm not holding my breath on that. Nor am I holding my breath on us getting Base Cross or Soul Cross in Battle Network 5, because again, one, it's the GBA version, not Double Team DS, and it would just be something that I'm not holding my breath on them releasing Base Cross as something other than we might get Base Cross as a DLC, which I would love. I would pay for the DLC, don't get me wrong. It was obscure and hard to get in the original GBA release. Especially if you're a North American, because then you're just not getting it. But yeah, no, if we get Base Cross in any kind of form, I'll take it. If not, I'm not surprised. I can always play as Base Cross on my emulator. But yeah, that's all for today. I'm super hyped, even though it looks like we're not getting really anything but the bare minimum, the bare necessities of this game. It's just the collection and online capabilities. And I'm excited for it, and when it comes out, be looking out for that playthrough of the Legacy collection with me and Jen, because I'm forcing him to play it. But that'll be it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble and rant, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.